Matty, last week I was Brendan McManus because my team was totally anus. This week I'm Tyler Bass because I was kicking Aussie analyst ass. Let's fucking go.
And just like the refs with their flag at their hips, I want to win some championships.
I am on the eucalyptus throat lozenge drops.
Butter my biscuit. I'm happier in a tornado in a trailer park. Let's roll.
Butter my biscuits.
Butter my biscuits.
If I was English, I would have taken the moral victory, but I'm Australian, so there's no moral victories here.
My fantasy team's going to kick you guys in the butt cup.
Take me down to Brown Town.
Take me down to Brown Town.
How are you not positive when you kissed on the dick by a leprechaun?
Have you ever been kissed on the dick by a leprechaun before? It's
My dick doesn't hang that low to be kissed on a dick by a leprechaun.
Mom, get out of my room.
Under southern skies we roar again. Gridiron warriors feel the strain. From deserts wide to coastal plains, battlegrounds where legends reign. Aussie gridiron pride unchained. Hear the thunder, feel the flame. Touchdowns and tackles ain't no shame in the Aussie gridiron game.
for the Aussie Gridiron Network. This is not the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. It's the AGN Playoff Series, and you have joined us for the fantasy aspect of Championship Week. They call me Matty C, and joining me for this great weekend edition of all of this crazy mania is not six of the best this week. It is seven of the bests. I mean, it's probably six of the best once you discount me, but let's go around the room. Roll call, people. It is Australia's finest fantasy analyst, Taylor Goodall.
Matty, last week I was Brendan McManus because my team was totally anus. This week I'm Tyler Bass because I was kicking Aussie analyst ass. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. It is the host of G'day Gridiron. It's Ian Tomlinson.
Yeah. Thought you'd get out of me, to be honest.
Come on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, there's some power in that.
I am on the eucalyptus throat lozenge drops. I am chugging water. I have had a litre of nudie orange juice. I am ready to go.
Expect nothing.
To follow that act, it's Pastry Press NFL and the voice of Australian Gridiron, Manjot Melly.
Yes, indeed. And just like the refs with their flag at their hips, I want to win some championships.
Oh, whoa.
God.
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Apparently I am Manjot's idol.
Apparently, mate, it's coming for you.
I'm coming back to Aussie NFL Fantasy next season for sure.
Oh, come on.
I need to spend more time with Taylor. I think that's it. I spend a lot of time with you, Matty. I want to spend more time with you too.
Well, Taylor's coming over. Taylor already said he's coming to G'day Gridiron podcast. So if you're coming back, he's out.
Trade announced. Adam Schefter.
Although we'll get the scores, I all of a sudden love fantasy. It's funny how that works.
It is. Maybe we should give Taylor his own show like Manjot, and then Manjot could just come on this one.
Bit of everything.
Fuck, can you imagine? It's the greatest gridiron coach I've ever met, Brad Cummins. Although, when he's here, we call him Cummo. How are you, mate?
Do we?
Oh, no.
Butter my biscuit. I'm happier in a tornado in a trailer park. Let's roll.
Jesus Christ.
Butter my biscuits.
Butter my biscuits. Can you believe it? It's the greatest offensive lineman in the country, Nick Cosme.
Mate, I'm hoping this draft is actually a dynasty draft because I'm tanking for fucking Cam Ward at the moment.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Are we all?
We'll recap that. Hey, and for the first time this playoff season, we've actually got the rammiest ram that ever rammed ram. It's Isaac Kennedy. How are you, mate?
Good, and the only reason Taylor was kicking analyst's ass is because I wasn't here.
Fair.
I love it.
Play it out.
Because Isaac likes Stafford and he also gets staph infections, so that works well.
Shout out Calcaterra.
Jeepers. So we have got the fullest house we've ever had. Taylor, you and I have been working on the show since somewhere through 2020. So we're approaching the end of our 5th season somehow, having not been cancelled.
I think it was around my 11th bout of COVID. I think we started. I think it was about there.
And what's your scoreboard look like now?
It's gone. I think whoever's doing the scoreboard, they've ran out of fucking like numbers and numerals they can put on the scoreboard. So it's just it's infinite at this point, mate.
Well, if it was me doing the scoreboard, the number would be wrong. We've established that.
The Matty map.
But this is going to be the biggest format we've ever run in fantasy on the Aussie NFL fantasy end of this, Aussie Gridiron Network thing, and especially through the playoffs. So it's going to be pretty heady. It's going to be difficult to keep up with potentially, and this is going to be probably one for the folks who are in deeper leagues, because we're going to go 7 of us through 4 rounds, and I'll get Tay to explain it in a little moment. But I mean, there's a lot to get through here. We had a pretty big week last week. The fellas, everyone put their teams in, and we lobbed up a bunch of scores. I'm going to throw a scoreboard up so we can have a quick look at how everyone progressed last week. I don't like doing this, but I'm going to start with the person who came first, because I know they've got a story to tell. Come on, sing a song, Tay. What happened last week?
Well, Matty, the real big moment for my team was when AJ Brown didn't end up on it. That really was a huge clinching moment for me. And as soon as it happened last week on the podcast, I sang a huge rejoice. And really just not having that be that absolute wanker on my team, it just made huge changes in 1 week. And you saw it happen, mate, going from the absolute shittest score out there, 55, whatever it was, lost by a mile, to going out there and just sticking it to everyone and coming back in for a sweet average of 3.5 over 2 weeks. So, mate, it's absolutely great to actually love fantasy again after basically saying fantasy sucks ass for a week. It's good to be back.
I cannot wait to show you where you are in the standings. But he scores 95 points almost. And, Jimmy Gibbs, how much do you love that bloke?
Yeah, I honestly felt like he should have scored more. I actually felt like the Lions did a disservice by going away from him. Like, he should have had more carries, and I actually felt like he wasn't utilised enough. But I feel like he was utilised enough for me, put it that way. He had an amazing game, and obviously getting a couple of touchdowns just made it massive. But he was involved in the passing game, had over 100 yards, not much else he can ask for.
Fucking hell. So Gibbs 35 points. Kelsey goes and throws up 25. Those two combined score 60. That's what the Scraps team put up, and we'll recap that. Mahomes goes and throws up a dart of 12.5. Shakir 12.7. Kyron with the big fumble and some strife 9.5. He throws up 94.88. Hey, Brad, I'm looking at you. Mr. Consistency here. You go and throw up 90 last week. You throw up 83 this week with, and I've never seen this before, 4 Eagles and Nico Collins. You benefited a lot from some young spry running back I've never heard of, Saquon Berkeley.
Exactly. I got to admit, after I took a flyer on that Eagles team last week, and afterwards I was kicking myself. I thought I was so dumb I could throw myself on the ground and miss, but it was just. But they ended up coming through. They did, and so I can't complain at all. And you're right. I rode the coattails of Saquon Barkley. So better to be lucky than good, and I'm living proof of that.
I mean, God, you get another 18 from Hurts. It was okay. I mean, you're hoping for more than that. 13 from Nico Collins, who, again, I kind of feel like he left some points on the field, and then got it in Brown. That's AJ Brown. Arthur Brown. We're going to stop calling him AJ, Swole Batman, all the fun names. He's playing like a bloke named Arthur, isn't he? 3.4. He threw up 2 points last week. It's
sad. It's really, really sad. 2 weeks in a row where he has just absolutely stunk it up. So,
he's only got 5.4 more fantasy points than you and I, Brad.
That's right.
In 2 weeks.
Exactly. But he did increase it by 1 point or whatever. So
this is not a racial joke, but he is not even the best Brown on the field at receiver. It's going to be Diami this week.
dangerous territory when you start with,
It
this
is.
isn't
Yep,
even a
I
racist
like-
joke.
Yeah,
I like to
exactly.
put the disclaimer out there.
That could have gone anywhere.
Before I say it.
It could have gone anywhere. Nick, you're
I just got a hot flash all of a sudden.
I feel like my disclaimer somehow made it more racist. But anyway,
Oh my God.
we move forward.
There's a more successful
do.
brand in my pants.
Look, no, there was nothing in that. Just in case anyone
For the
comes to
viewers.
cancel us.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the viewers there.
That was a pattern.
Manjot's
there
our
in that one.
adjudicator.
It was
the-
a last
Yeah, I am.
Adjudicator. He's also the one person of color.
Yeah, I am the one guy of color, the one brown person here. I had no offense with Taylor's joke. So everyone, do not cancel Taylor, please.
Manjot ticks.
All right, end
Yep,
of
there you
story.
go. Manjot will not slap. There you go.
What? Oh, man.
Okay, I'm gonna try and pivot here. Jaden Daniels did not. All he did was slap 25 points. I was pretty happy with that. I got Joe Mixon 18 points. Armin Ra 21. Mark Andrews left a lot of points. Let's not talk about that. He ends up with 9.
A lot of points on
Oh my
the.
God.
You probably could have won that week. You
I could have won the week.
I got the catches.
Yeah, he left some points out there, and Devon Smith was not what I was hoping. But 80 points, I come in third, I get on the podium, and what's the great change this week is that we had Brad, Ian, Manjot. They were the top 3 last week. Sorry, it was Ian, Brad, Manjot. Let's be really accurate about this. And some things have changed, and the Fantasy Boys came back with a bit of a vengeance. Saki Tay, I get the bronze medal there. So I'm pretty happy with that. I scored 80.26, and that's good enough for third. Manjot was, I mean, I think that your team probably deserved to do a bit better. You got double digits out of everybody. But is it, who do you think was the hero on your team last week? You had Goff, Henry, Nakua, and Ertz.
Yeah, I mean, like this group of 5 here, I was expecting a bit more from them. I have to be honest. I think those guys could have done a bit better. Look, Goff was definitely probably the worst one. Fucking how many interceptions? 3, 4. This guy like just crapped the bed. So it cost me a few points there. I think King Henry in the first half is really slow getting going. Got going in the end of the game. He was really going downhill, but they were chasing, so he couldn't. That kind of capped his ability a bit. Puka, yeah, he was slow, very, very slow until the final drive of the game when all the points came coming in.
That's maybe the catch of the season.
Yeah. I mean, Zach Ertz, yeah, 13.8 from a tight end. I'm going to take that any day. No complaints of him. And 11.2 from James Cook. I was expecting a bit more, to be honest. In the snow.
Oh, he got vultured twice.
Oh yeah, he got fucking vultured. He got down at the 1 twice. So, look, if I'm
He's your new Jarek McKinnon, by the way.
Shout out DeAndre Swift.
If I was English, I would have taken the moral victory, but I'm Australian, so there's no moral victories here.
67.32. Write this down. Manjot, not English. That's the takeaway.
Just taking that notes
Ian,
right here, Matty. Yep.
You were right behind Manjot too. He had 67.32. You come in at 62.66. I'm sure that when you took Lamar Jackson, you were hoping for a little bit more. He scores 19 points. Talk us through your team real quick about who was your hero here.
Well, I said, mate, that I was going to be average this week after the highs of last week. So perfectly average at 62 points. If you look at Tay got right up there in the 90s. We got someone else got way down there at the bottom of nowhere. So it's perfectly average. Lamar on 19. I thought I would have got a little bit more out of Lamar, definitely.
I thought so
I thought
too.
I would have got a little bit more than 3.6 out of David Montgomery as well. But that didn't happen. Worthy, I was a bit iffy about. 8.7, I'll take that. Likely, well, there we go.
The better tight end. You said it at the time.
I'm pretty sure there was a water bet there too, wasn't it?
Yeah. We went heads up. So, mate, I could stand outside right now. There's a storm outside in Canberra. And
Don't go an electrical storm. That's not a water bet. It's a death bet. Okay.
All right. I've got the milk bottle down here. I'll get this one filled up and I'll send you a picture tomorrow.
That's fine, mate. It's all good.
Fine.
Take your time. Yeah, and 14 out of Williams. So,
which was a bit of fun. He did throw
perfectly
an
average.
intercept weirdly.
yes, he did. Jameson Williams is probably the worst person in the world. As I said on our recap show with Manjot earlier in the week, the worst person in the world to give the ball to throw the ball because he doesn't have the best decision-making ability.
Exactly what you said.
But,
Look, mate, he took a punt on himself. He gambled. life away, and it did pay off. And what's hilarious about his game is I think he did everything but what a wide receiver's meant to do, which is try catch a pass. He rushed a touchdown in and then threw an intercept.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't do fuck all as an actual receiver.
I know.
I mean, Matty, can I butt in real quick? You talk about paying off water bets. Has Taylor paid that one off to you yet?
14th of February, mate. 14th of February.
Okay, all right.
Scheduled,
Just making
right?
sure.
Yeah.
It's got to be on. It's got to be on
Valentine's
14th
Day.
of
No, I'll
February.
do it. I'll gun down and see Matty C personally.
I mean, it's been a long time.
I'm glad. We were planning to do more water bets in like week-to-week games, and we just stopped after that one. That's probably a good thing.
One thing that we did well last year in this part of the season too was, like Ian and I did there, we go, oh, you think I took the wrong tight end? Okay, let's just water bet it. I think we had 4 bets one week against Mark Downey, and he won 3 of them. So, yeah, I'll be bringing the heat this week.
Don't bet against Mark Downey is the lesson to that.
This is why he's not on the show. Oh, my God. He made us all look like monkeys.
No.
Kev made someone look like a monkey. His scraps team scored 60 points. That's an average of 12 per head. He got 19 out of Stafford, 19 out of the bulleted one. He got a donut as well from Zacchaeus. And he still gets 11-ish each out of Schultz and Cup. So he goes and throws up 60.1 with the massive disadvantage of seeing 5 of us all draft, and he just has to pick up whatever's left over. So good on you, Kev.
Good luck this week, Kev. Good luck this week.
Good luck this week, Kev.
Now let him pick some IDPs, please. He's an IDP guy.
3 kickers in a defense. That's what Kev's going to have this week.
Oh my God, that poor bastard. Because there's 28 people or positions gone. That guy is literally going to have whoever the backup is to Noah Gray. Like, it's going to be bad. Nick, I've got a problem, mate. Got a problem.
Oh,
Kev scored 60. What the heck happened? You had first pick, mate.
Yeah, I went, I came into this draft last week thinking with the running backs that didn't work for me the week before, I'm just going to abandon running backs and just not care about it. So went with a tight end stack, and it only really worked with Laporta. So I got, like, you know what? I wouldn't put it out of the question for Kev's scrap team to beat me this week either, but who knows what could happen.
Oh, there's a water bet.
Yeah. Oh,
Did I
Kev would
just see
take
some
that.
water? Did I just see you all just drink some water right there? So is the water bet already being paid off?
I'm drinking plenty right here now, man. It's all good.
Ian's doing it. Pacheco, you did take a running back because we needed to take one, and you very staunchly waited that sucker out, and you took Pacheco, and he really did you dirty, throwing up 1.8. Yeah, stack it. Tight end. Yeah, you got a great score out of Laporta, and that was an inspired pick. And then Kincaid gave you the rude finger, throws up 2 points. But, in a win, Josh Allen was scoring 70 points in the first half. I'm like, fuck, he's going to break the matrix. In the second half, Manjot had said this in the first show of the week too, that just weirdly then in the third and fourth quarter, Buffalo went away from him. And I could hear from Adelaide, mate, to Canberra, I could hear your heart breaking.
Oh, it was just, I thought once that first half had happened, I thought, you know what, he's going to carry me up the leaderboard, and it just never fucking happened. I thought it was going to be a lock for him being I thought that generational game was coming, but it didn't, and I thought it was going to be a tight end week, which it almost was across the board, but Kincaid did nothing, 1 reception. Yeah.
Bag of dicks. McLaurin, terrific, though. 18.7. You end up with 58, so it's only 2 points behind Kev. Not even 2 points behind Kev, but fuck. Kev's going to hang that over your head forever. You know that.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like Kev at all.
Doesn't sound like Kev at all.
There you go. I've got a new beautiful shiny slide for Isaac joining us, but let me give you a quick recap on where things are in terms of, okay, Brad's got 174 total points. He also came second both weeks, so he's got 10 competition points. Ian with the 100-point game in week 1 still lobs up 60-odd and gets and gets a couple of points there. He adds 2 to his total, moves to 8. Then there is a fucking crush of us. Manjot, who came third in week 1, gets 4th. I was 4th, get 3rd. We've pretty much got the same points, 150-ish each. Tay, not far behind. He was last first this week, also 150-ish. You can separate us by very little. I mean, goodness me, there is nothing between his 4 fantasy points, and we're all locked together on 7. And then Nick, he's having a battle. He's got 3 points, 127 total. Tay, you are the brains trust of how these games work through the fantasy playoffs. We've got a new head in, and this expands it out to 7. There's 6 of us who've played 2 weeks, but you've devised a way to make sure that we can include Isaac in a way that it's relative. And then we need to jump into the draft and start working out what's what. Do you want to explain quickly how we're going to include that with Isaac, and then what the draft is going to look like tonight? Because this is an unprecedented size draft for us.
Yeah, look, with the scoreboard, I just thought it obviously didn't really make sense to have Isaac come in, but then just be completely chasing his tail the entire time. It would have been kind of pointless. So what we've basically done is we're going to do an average per week. So really, so far, it doesn't really change much for all of us. We're basically just halving our scores. So that's our average over 2 weeks. But it gives Isaac the ability to come in and basically lead straight away if he wins. Like he's basically going to go off his 2 scores the rest of the way and take an average, and that's what we're going to do from our 4 weeks. So it just puts him on a level playing field. Obviously, his aggregate, because the games are getting lower and lower scoring, are probably going to take a hit. So he's going to need to basically clear whoever is above him to try and actually get in front of him, because he's not going to win on aggregate. It's just we don't really have any kind of way of dealing with that. But in the end, he's got an opportunity to go out there and put a couple of good scores in and win this thing. So that's kind of what we wanted. We was like, if he's going to come in, he's got to have the chance to win, and I feel like that was the best way of doing it. For the actual draft itself tonight, for any viewers out there who love fantasy and love hearing about some really, really top-notch players and guys for good reasons and good matchups, and that are going to have some very great numbers, this is not the podcast for you. You're going to hear some absolute fucking ass clowns tonight. With who we get into in the 3rd and 4th round, my goodness, it is going to be absolute garbage. Us having to actually say these players' names or defenses or kickers or whatever, and actually try and act like we want to actually pick these wankers. It's going to be honestly great content in itself, us actually trying to have to hold back our vomit. So looking forward to it. Basically what we're doing tonight with 7 guys, we're doing a 4 player draft. So we're snaking it, but in a slightly different way than you would see a normal snake draft. So we're going to start with the 1 to 7 in a normal snake draft, and then it's going to make its way back from 7 to 1. But then it's going to go 7 to 1 again. So that the idea of that is generally it's going to be top heavy at the start. So the idea is that we think if you just did a regular snake for 4, probably offers a little bit of a leeway to the guys picking at the top of the draft at the start. So we decided that basically the 2nd and the 3rd round will basically go from the last person to first, and then last person to first again. And then the last round will go back to how it started with the 1 to 7. So that's how we're going to run it tonight.
So, Isaac, you're coming in now with a little bit of a deficit in terms of so there's been a few weeks where we've run this thing. But knowing that there's a bit of a leveling of the playing field now, how do you sort of feel coming into it now, mates? The fantasy thing is it's pretty intense, mate.
Feeling very, very not confident.
That's the best way to do it.
Well, I'm going to go around the grounds here and say, throw your hand up if you're super confident about doing a 7-player, 4-round draft over just 4 NFL games. Guys, anyone?
Nick,
yeah, crickets, mate.
Just for anyone too, one other thing I didn't sort of explain before is that it's positionless tonight. So generally, obviously the first 2 weeks we were having to pick a quarterback, having to pick a running back. We were having to pick one of each position, and then we had a flex on top of that or a super flex. Tonight, because obviously there aren't 7 quarterbacks to pick from, there's only 4 teams, it's all positionless. So we've basically got everyone at our disposal to pick from in all the fantasy relevant positions, including kicker and defense tonight. But generally you can pick 4 kickers, 4 defenses if you're really, really that way and weirdly inclined. But in the end, it's just positionless. You don't have to have a quarterback. You don't have to have any certain position. You're just basically taking the best 4 guys you could possibly take.
Okay. So it all makes sense? It's going to get fucking ugly. And you know who is the arbiter of ugliness? It's Australia's best lineman, Nick Cosme, because he gets to choose the draft order. This is the quirk from this year is often when you win starts of the week, you get that benefit of choosing the draft order. Not in playoffs. It's the person who comes last who gets the benefit of being able to shake it up, and they can choose the draft order however they want. Having listened to a show from this time last year when Brad got this honor, he ran us through like a Family Feud style game, which was hilarious. And I've forgotten how funny that was. Taylor will often just dictate to people, okay, here's where I want you to pick. Nick, you've got just whatever way you want to choose how this draft order is going to go. Do you have a plan? Talk us through it.
I just wrote down a list just literally before we started filming, so not much planning comes into it. I sort of had forgotten until about 30 minutes ago, so yeah, that's it's about as well planned as I put into making draft decisions so far this postseason. So yeah, let's go for it.
So no pressure, but enlighten us. Do you have your draft order ready? Who are you going to bestow to which position? And I hope you just make it as tough as you can for Taylor, because this guy has really struggled with playoff fantasy football, and I'd love to see that continue.
All right. So I've got the order in. So at pick 1, I'm going to give that to Brad.
Oh. Yo.
He's the guy that's leading. Hands in the number 1 pick.
Yo. Wow.
We're chasing Brad.
Okay.
Oh my.
Nick's not.
I'm not chasing Brad. Number 2. I'm going to give to Manjot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's go. All right. I like that. Yeah.
Manjot. And then I'll go at 3. And then 4, I'm going to have Maddie go at 4.
Ooh, Maddie sandwich.
Good. And then at 5, I'll have Taylor.
Jesus Christ.
And then at 6, I'll have Isaac.
Fuck me dead.
And then Ian at 7.
Oh.
Switch, I'll trade you in. I'd rather go at 7 than 5.
Did he actually vomit there? That sound. That was quite something.
Oh.
You're fucking fired, Nick.
Oh.
Matty, I'm coming to you next year.
Jesus God.
We're
Welcome you.
You better get better at fantasy, mate. That's for sure.
We are all shifting around next year. No one knows.
Holy shit! I might back up both podcasts next year.
Oh, we should do that. Maybe we should put everyone's name into a bingo wheel, and we'll just draw them out. So it's Maddie and I running a podcast, and the rest of you don't know where you are until like.
Mate, I'm running pastry press next year.
Holy shit! Oh my goodness! That would be
AGN free agency show. It's coming to the network.
Is there any options to be franchise tags?
I don't know how much I want to pay most of you fuckers,
Nick,
that's for sure.
Nick's taking it out for the franchise tag.
I'll get a franchise tag, Brad, that's for sure.
I'm getting Manjot's Instagram page taken down real quick.
That 4 years of hard work down the drain. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm just going to run through that draft order again. It's Brad, Manjot, Nick, Maddie, Taylor, Isaac, Ian. Second round will be the inverse of that. And then third round will repeat that inverse. It'll be Ian, Isaac, Taylor, Maddie, Nick, Manjot, Brad. And fourth round will be like we described in the first. Holy shit, guys. 28 players, I guess, because defenses are a part of this too. 28 slots need to be filled. It's positionless. And, Brad, no pressure. You're up first. Chime goes in. You're on the clock. What even the hell do you do?
Well, yeah, Nick did. Robbed me. So, and not in a good way. This is hard for me.
Make your first pick great. Next picks are going to be shit house.
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm torn. I really am.
By the time you get around to the 14th pick, your ass is going to be torn, so you better nail this.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, essentially, I just got to go for the guy who I think is going to get the most points. Forget positional scarcity and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's everyone
I
else
hate doing it, but and I'll explain why I picked him number 1 later. But I'm taking Josh Allen.
Can you explain it now?
I think there's an explanation over because I'm pretty sure I know who's going to go second. I'm pretty sure there's there is an actual explanation to add because I think there was 2 top picks at the top.
Yeah, well, in my mind there were, and I just feel like Allen. He's just he's a legend in this type of games. So I'm hoping that he continues that again. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Guys who outscored him last week include Armin Ra, Terry McLaurin, Travis Kelce. So it's just, I know what you mean, but yeah, it's a burden.
It is.
He had to explain Josh Allen to us, ladies and gentlemen, but he managed it. And now, Manjot, you're on.
Yeah, this is actually, I have pivoted between these. When I saw I had second, kind of had a couple players in mind. And look, everyone's always expecting a quarterback in this situation because quarterbacks often score the most in fantasy, most consistent players. But I think I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to take Saquon at 2. I think
that is not a risk. That's exactly
such a risk. Oh, going out on the edge.
Was that the guy you were thinking?
Yeah, wow, what a risk.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly who I was thinking.
Only taking the top running back in the league right now that scored over 2,000 yards.
Season.
Just historic season. He scored 30 touchdowns after coming off 0 last. What a leap of faith, man, John.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
understand what Manjot means, though, because the idea generally is you think quarterback's going to outscore, but with this 4-point passing system, and it just doesn't seem to work out like that. Like, we had this thing with CMC last year when we were I think he went second maybe as well, or he might have even gone first, because it was do you take a running back, absolute dominant running back over a quarterback, and it seems honestly to work out more than it doesn't. So I actually had Allen technically first too, but I thought it was easily between Allen and Saquon for the number 1.
Agreed. Okay, Nick, so you've done yourself a favour and let these two squabble over 1 and 2 to leave you with a third, which I'm imagining if you're putting yourself third, you feel like there's a tier of 3 and you don't mind which of those you get. I'm imagining that's the strategy, but talk us through why you put yourself third and who you're going to take.
I genuinely didn't think it too that Manjot was considering going with Jaden Daniels. And the way he had talked him up, I thought there might have been a chance he would have taken him. So that's why I thought, maybe Saquon, depending on who Brad might have taken at 1. So it's a sort of a weird spot. It's sort of a weird spot because there's not really a clear-cut, defined number 1 sort of guy that I think this week. So at pick 3, I think there is a lot of junk time that could come into this, as we were speaking about on the previous show. A lot of points in that, and I think Jaden Daniels is going to score some points doing that. So I'm going to take Daniels at number 3.
Yeah, I think he was the clear third pick, honestly. I would have taken him. Sure.
Yeah, it was a bit of a toss-up between that as well at 2 for me, but yeah.
This is the first time someone's been able to wrestle Jaden Daniels away from me this postseason because football scores be damned. Fantasy is a different thing, and I did not expect them to win any of those games, but I expected fantasy points to be there. And again, don't care if they win or not. It'd be fun if they do, but I think it'll be fantasy points, and you may well have taken the highest scoring player of the week with the third pick, which puts me up. And this is something that I've done a lot in playoff shows in the past, is just gone and taken a player who I think has a huge upside at a position that, when you're picking by position matters, but when you're just trying to get a guy to score a bunch of points too also matters. And I'm just going to take Travis Kelce.
Cool.
I just think he is the 4th. He's clearly a part of what they do in the playoffs. It's like the LeBron switch flip, he scored 24 last week. He was very involved the week before. It's a huge game at home. Kelce it is.
Yeah, this is where I didn't want to be. I probably would have gone Kelce over the quarterbacks. I don't mind being 5, but it's more that I don't know which of the 2 of these positions that I'm going to pick. I kind of would rather be 6 because I'd almost rather it just be done for me.
Yeah.
It's hard working out exactly. One's sort of like carrying an injury. One has just been a good playoff performer, but he just has been a bit of a bucket of arseholes in fantasy, but you kind of feel like you've got to take one of them. So it's not a clear-cut decision for me here, but I think it is between two. I've got both of them winning the exact same fucking scoreline, which doesn't really help me either. I think it's that fucking injury. I would have taken one guy easily, but I've got to worry that he's not going to run anymore. Fuck! It is honestly really hard. I think everyone knows.
It's only the first round.
It is, but honestly, I think it's going to get easier later because everyone sucks. Like nailing your first round pick means so much more in this fucking thing. It's just going which one.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to explain in detail why you're taking Amari Cooper in the 4th round, but
yeah,
you kind of need to really worry about it here. Who you're taking?
I'm going to take Pat Mahomes.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
would have taken someone else normally, but I have serious concerns about whether that team even needs the other guy and whether his new injury is even going to help him run, which is the whole reason that he's a good fantasy quarterback. So I'm going to take the guy that I know in Patrick Mahomes, and I think he could just have another good game against the Bills. So
I don't know if that actually helps Isaac or not, because he's picking right behind you. And if he had the same dilemma that you were like, oh, fuck, I just wish someone would take this cup off me by picking before me. Maybe Isaac's feeling a fucking ton of relief here. I don't know. What do you got?
Nah, I was always, if he was there, I was going to take Jalen Hurts anyway.
Yep. Well, I think that's what Matty's saying. I think he's like, you're happy because I took Mahomes, so you can just take Hurts.
Yeah.
Can I just ask?
Yeah.
If Taylor went the other way, took Hurts, surely you're happy with Mahomes.
I don't know. I would have switched to wide receiver, I'd say.
Okay, there you go.
Wow. So he just kind of took away someone you didn't really care about.
That's it. Thanks, Taylor.
Sucked in Taylor. Okay, Hurts, we're ding, taking Hurts.
Yeah, I'm taking Hurts. I think Brad's analysis before, I think when he said that they'll just try and stop Saquon, I think it'll open it up for Jalen Hurts, even if he is injured, to go a bit of running.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, Matty.
7th pick.
He's still
But you also
pissed
get
off.
a pick.
Am I playing this game, am I?
I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I don't know.
I've just gone to sleep, sorry.
I feel like you've got some meat on the bone here, and you're in a terrific position. Just scoop a couple of guys who just score a shit ton of points, and then just leave the folks who picked early languishing. I feel like the board has played beautifully for where you are. Taylor and I both would have traded you, by the way.
Yeah, easy. I reckon you're in a way better spot than I was.
I don't know. You two are obviously better wankers at fantasy than I am.
We're just wankers.
But when you've got... and I don't care about saying names right now. I'm not going to hide anything. But when you've got running backs like Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt on a team that doesn't score anything with running backs, you've got James Cook, who played like a bucket of arseholes last week. I've got... Well, Saquon's gone, so what am I going to get? Kenneth Gainwell, he hasn't seen the field all fucking season. Brian Robinson, you don't know which way he's going to go. And then you go back through wide receivers, and it's a similar story. Like, no one uses their wide receivers on any of these fucking teams. So every single thing is just a total crapshoot from this point onwards. Like,
I'd still take your spot over having to come back and say where Manjot is. How do you feel about the 13th best guy in this draft if you're full of seething hate and venom for 7-8?
It's a weird thing where we talk about all these teams in terms of we broke down the games on the previous show, and we did all the game previews, and they're 4 amazing teams, and you go, these are 4 great teams and the way they're playing and all this sort of stuff. But when you get to fantasy and you look at fantasy points and you look at what some of these wide receivers in particular have been scoring in the past few weeks in playoffs, like if they were doing this through the middle of the season, we'd be calling them a bucket of arseholes, and we would be. But it's just so you're like,
I think there's one player in that bucket of assholes who's actually been terrific in this postseason that I just feel like you have to take, and I'll be interested to see if you let Isaac.
I'll probably get it wrong from what you guys pick anyway, but I know this first pick is going to be Terry McLaurin anyway, so that's the only guy that stands out. And
he could score the most this week out of everybody.
I know.
Easily.
I think you're a little down on him. I'm not entirely sure why.
No, I'm not down. Terry McLaurin is the only one. My problem is the next pick. Like, I've got 2 picks here. Who the fuck do I pick?
I still don't think it's too hard. I think there's still plenty of guys who can score in that 15-plus range.
I don't want to stack. That's the other thing.
It's going to be worse than yours.
But it's going to be... I just don't know.
I just feel like you're still kissed on the dick by leprechauns here, and you kind of... I don't know. I just feel like you're being a bit of a negative Nelly.
I don't like any of them.
How are you not positive when you're kissed on the dick by a leprechaun?
I mean, have you ever been kissed on the dick by a leprechaun before? It's
my dick doesn't hang that low to be kissed on the dick by a leprechaun.
Well, it's because you're too tall. I'm very short, so it's no problem.
Easy to be a tripod.
Yeah, Matty is apparently.
Yeah, at 5'10", I'm a little guy.
Fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna have to. Who's gone?
Okay, I'll read it out. You got Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Jaden Daniels, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts are all gone. You've got Terry McLaurin and everybody else who plays football this weekend. Everybody else.
I'm not sure that any of them actually do play football.
Just find a guy with a touchdown. Who you think's going to score a touchdown? Do you remember yesterday's show? He had anytime touchdown guys. You got one of them.
God, I don't know. It's such a hard decision. It's just the weirdest spot. Crap.
He's going to be so broken in the 3rd and 4th rounds.
We've mentally broken Ian.
I didn't want to stack, but I'm going to take the running back. I'm going to take Brian Robinson.
Oh, interesting.
It's
the
only because
one is in.
It's only because I think the Commanders are going to score a bucket of points. Like I said, I picked them at 45 points, so I think it's just going to be a bucket of points. I really didn't want to stack this week because it could just all go to complete and utter shit. I could be below the scraps team, which is the problem. This is my mental dilemma right now. Is that I could be below the 8th team that gets to pick.
No one's ever finished behind the scraps team, have they?
Nick did.
No, not at all.
Yeah, see, I don't think so. I don't think so. So don't worry. That never happens.
Isaac said nothing.
Righto. I'll see you
so you've done the turn. You've got a bunch of commanders, but you also think they score a shit load of points. So this is perfect, right?
Yeah.
And now it's the pressure's on Isaac because he's got Jalen Hurts and nothing, and he's got to make a decision about we're 8 guys deep. This is a 9th guy.
I'll see you in 20 minutes, by the way, too.
This is going to happen quick. You wait.
Give me Pacheco.
Oh.
Shooting from the hip.
It's going a different way than I expected already, and I like that.
Can I ask why, Isaac?
In my predictions, I've got the Chiefs scoring 24 points, so I think Pacheco is going to get 1 touchdown.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I had Brian Robinson and Pacheco, honestly, around 3rd round for me. So if you're going to give me shit about not being worried about me taking someone Isaac didn't have, I definitely didn't have Pacheco. So
I feel like there's a slam dunk pick here, and Taylor's just going to take it. I just feel like there is.
Taking James Cook.
Yeah.
It's not an amazing matchup, don't get me wrong, but he just gets enough work. I know, if he gets brought down on the 1, he doesn't get the touchdown, but there's a chance he won't get brought down on the 1. I don't know. I just feel like there's too much opportunity for a guy like James Cook. Yeah,
I was thinking that one before, but in my predictions, I've got the Bills scoring 10 points, and I don't think Cook is going to score 1. So.
Okay, and this is the moment where I go, gee, there was one guy who I kind of still had as a bit of a first-round guy. But is he that much better than everybody else left? Probably not. So, like, my toss-up is between a couple of wide receivers. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to take one of them's on the same. It's already in a game where I've got some skin in it, and I feel like it limits my upside by taking 2 players from the same offense. So I've got Kelce, I'm going to lean into the other one, and I'm just going to go and take Devonta Smith because I don't trust Arthur. If you met a bloke named Arthur and you needed him to do something athletic, we've seen the last 2 weeks. No. So I'm just out. There's no Swole Batman anymore. There's no fun nicknames. There's no, hey, AJ, it's good to see you. That guy's dead to me, and I'm taking the other guy.
That's
Shout out to all the Arthurs.
That's going to be the best.
Hey, big
someone feels
disrespect.
obligated to take it.
Yeah. and big disrespect there, Maddie, to my favorite children's TV show when I was growing up, Arthur. Big disrespect. I can't believe this, man.
Hey, football head.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. Bring back Rocco. I liked him better. Rocco's Modern Life. Bring that back. Hey, Nick, you've got Jaden Daniels and a Field of Dreams to run in. What are you picking, mate?
Oh, this is tough. I think, you're going to have to stick with receiver. I don't know. I'm going to go, it's probably a bit of a left field choice, but I think he's going to have a big game. Andy Reid's going to give him a bit of the ball, get him out in space, get him running with the ball, using his speed. I'm going to take Xavier Worthy.
Yeah. So,
nice.
Nick, this is, I've got Kelsey, otherwise I would have taken him. That was the other guy.
So that's
Daniels and Worthy. Oh, Manjo, you've got Saquon Barkley. What are you going to do?
Oh, fuck yeah. I got Saquon. He might be the only guy that's fucking scoring on this team, to be honest, when he entered the game. Goodness. I mean, I have Buffalo. I do have Buffalo winning as well. So I feel like I got to take one of Taylor's boys. Shakira. Let's go.
I have him slightly above Smith and Worthy. So I reckon that's a good pick. If I didn't take Cook, I would have taken Shakir.
Love my Khalil Shakir as well. Yeah, let's go. I hope he's having a good game. Go play against some tough corners, but, I think he's up for the challenge. So let's go.
I like because he's just what he got last week. He's like a walking 6 for 60. Like, I don't know. I just always feel comfortable that he's going to have like a baseline of around 10. And I'm like, in this, I just felt like that was fine.
Yeah,
Fucking
especially
careful. You
this
said a player earlier in the year was a walking X for X. It was Zach Ertz. And then the week you said it, he fell into a fucking cave.
It's tight end. You can't hold tight end against me. They're a fucking arsehole.
Just saying. The guys in offense with Curtis Samuel, Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman, James Cook,
Hey,
15 other running backs who score out of fucking nowhere. Josh Allen. I don't know, Tay.
Mate, you're already foreskinning 4th round picks. What are you doing?
I know.
Shut up, Matty.
Just saying. Okay. Josh Allen is Brad's man. He's going to take a pick here, and then we're going to go screaming all the way back to Ian after this pick. Brad, what do you compliment Josh Allen with?
Well, it would have been a dream to have Shakir, but I was surprised he lasted as long as he did. I'm actually
stack a fair bit last year as well. You were all into the stacks last season.
A little bit torn. I just don't think he can be this bad 3 weeks in a row.
There it is.
I knew it.
So I gotta do it. AJ Brown.
Let's go. Brad's downfall starts now. Let's go. We all have a chance, boys. Let's lock in.
So hilarious that this is where he's at. Like, end of the second round, like, no one wanted to take him. He's, like, literally meant to be one of the best fantasy, like, wide receivers out there, yet for how bad he has been, it's like no one wants to take him.
Yeah, exactly.
He scored more points in the week where he was reading a book on the sideline.
Yes.
Than he did last week. So
only 5.4 points ahead of all of us in fantasy points this playoffs. So just keep that in mind.
Well, that's not hard because he's got the $1 million contract and I don't.
Yeah. I mean, if you want a fantasy ranking as well, Taylor, just to add to how surprising it seems, Fantasy Pros, shout out Fantasy Pros. I'm obviously always using Fantasy Pros. They had him ranked as the 8th overall player and the 2nd overall receiver after Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown, that is. Yeah. So for him to last this long is interesting, to say the least.
Oh, my God. Okay, so we've been through 2 rounds. We've gone 1 through 7, 7 through 1. This is where it all flips. We go 7 through 1, 1 through 7. It means we go back to Ian. You're sitting on a pair of Commanders, McLaurin, and Brian Robinson. How many more Commanders are you willing to take, mate?
Didn't I do that last year? Didn't this time last year, Matty? Didn't I take a whole team?
You were pretty close. You had 3 out of 4 that were Chiefs, and you sprinkled in a little bit of George Kittle.
Right. No, well, I'm not going to do that so far. Well, here's my sprinkle and my tinkle. Dallas got it.
Yep. I was like, it's similar to Noah Gray. I was like, I shouldn't even put him on my list because I know Ian's going to want him before I do.
I might take Noah Gray. Yeah,
that's what I mean. 4th round, baby.
The last pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, Noah Gray. I
do have the irrelevant, don't I? So let's see. Talk about a wide open board when they get the last pick. That's going to be amazing.
Fantastic.
I think the guys that are left, I was punching through some stats, and I think Goddard has scored the most yards out of anybody that's left as a starter, I should say, as the starting lineup.
Yeah, I think Goddard's a good one. I do like the pick.
If things are going the way I'd pick too, and I was up at the first of the 3rd round, he would have been my first 3rd round pick. There's still a couple of guys who I've sort of got in 2nd round kind of value because what we need to remember too is that kickers are going to score 2 points for an extra point, and then regular field goal scoring there. So I'd kind of wriggle a few of them in, but I mean, like, gosh, got it. Puts Isaac up, though. He's got Jalen Hurts and Isaiah Pacheco coming off. Ian's team is McLaurin and Robinson, the Commanders, plus got it. Isaac, with Hurts and Pacheco, where do you go next?
I'm going wide receiver, and I picked him to score a touchdown. Give me Dwayne Brown.
This is the perfect 3rd round pick, by the way. The better Brown.
Baby.
Yep. I knew he was going De'Ami Brown when he was there in the 3rd round. I was so tempted to take him in the 2nd, Isaac, but I was like, I can wait. Then I realized you were ahead of me.
No, you can't.
I'm well ahead of you too because we've got still Taylor and myself and Nick before you, Manjot. So,
wait.
That's Pacheco, De'Ami Brown. Taylor, your side at the moment is Mahomes and Cook. Not bad. Where do you go next?
Austin Eckler.
Boom, that quick?
Yep. Yeah, he was easy.
Well, that's how quick Austin Eckler is.
Yeah. I already brought him up in best bets. I think he's going to catch a lot of passes. You even saw him get involved he had about 8 attempts on the ground too last week. I just think he's easily the best player left.
He had more rushing attempts than Brian Robinson. He had more receptions than Brian Robinson.
I had him a lot higher than even some of the guys have been taken, so I was pretty happy to snag him in.
Right. Okay. That was... You pulled that trigger a bit faster than I thought you were going to be honest. Jesus.
Yeah, my first...
Dang.
Like I said, I even brought that up as I was picking in the 1st round. I'm like, I feel like this could be my hardest pick because, like I said, I've got a pretty set system and there's been a couple of guys that have been obvious to me in the 2nd and 3rd. But that also doesn't guarantee they're going to be good. They just were very high on my rankings.
Give me Harrison Butker.
Yep.
Just because extra points are worth 2, I've got Kansas scoring 26. It's not as much as I've got the Eagles scoring, but the Eagles, I've got them 4 straight touchdowns with extra points. So it's like 8 points. I'm going with Butker because I think there'll be field goals in that 26-22. So I'm going to take the guy kicking more field goals. Kelsey, Smith, Butker. That's Devonta Smith. Nick, you've got Jaden Daniels and Xavier Worthy. Where are you headed?
So I did think there was going to be... I was planning on going kicker for the next pick. And I am going to go with the team that I think is going to score the most points overall across the 4 teams this weekend, which is the Eagles. So give me Jake Elliott.
Wow. Bingo. The kickers are out, guys. The kickers are out. There's half the kickers have been taken now, and we're only midway through the 3rd. Who would have thought that? Nick's team. Jaden Daniels, Xavier Worthy, and Jake Elliott. He's sprinkled it across. He's got 3 players from 3 different teams. Have a go at that. Manjot, you're up. You got Saquon and the Shaker Fries. Shakira.
Yeah. Firstly, I do need to say to Nick, after that last pick, enjoy the missed kicks.
You didn't pick Jake Moody. Woo up.
I didn't pick Jake Moody. That's right.
His middle name's Moody, though. I mean, Elliott's been missing left and right this whole season. So I'm just saying. It's facts. So just wanted to say, watch out for any misses there for Nick.
Facts.
Yeah, it's very.
Is it facts? It's not really facts. His field goal percentage at hundreds recently, man. That's not facts.
I mean, he had a couple of missed extra points. Just saying. But okay.
Same.
Anyway, it is. Yeah, it's interesting. Just picking Hill because, I mean, we have that whole suite of players. All right, this is dumb fantasy, but we kind of have to do it. I'm gonna go with the Eagles' defense and special teams. I think. Yeah. I mean, you don't usually pick your defense until the 4th round, but I just think with the Eagles, they have a pretty decent defense, and they do know how to get the ball. They do know how to make some takeaways. So I can see them get a couple in this one.
Turnovers is a thing with this Philly defense. You brought this one up last week, Nick, and it's a thing. Turnovers are what score points for fantasy defenses, and they have been turning that ball over. So Saquon Barkley, Shakir, and the Philly defense special teams. Brad, you're back. You've got Josh Allen, but also somehow wound up with AJ Brown at the end of the 2nd round. Here we are at the end of the 3rd. You've got 2 picks. You get to round your team out now. Where do you go with both these picks? And I feel like you kind of got some strength there in your first 2 picks.
Yeah, this is it. This is my team. The first one of these 2 picks to me is easy. Take me down to Browntown. I love the Brown, so give me Marquise Brown.
What the fuck happened? What just happened?
I like how everyone's like, there aren't any other Browns playing this weekend, and then Brad dropped the hammer.
No, I knew Hollywood was there. I was wondering what happened with the take me down to Browntown thing. I love the Brown.
I mean, fair.
I mean, there's some great drops you give him, Matty.
What? I was talking about Marquise Brown. What are you talking about?
Man, Brad, would you come on a mic and you say, take me down to Brown? Like, it's just... That's my Brad. Was it pretty good, Matty?
I feel like you weren't hard enough on the R's.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. You need to really stretch out the Browntown. I feel like...
What the fuck are you doing? All right.
I know. I don't know. Accents, I do plenty of them, and they're all bad. So, all right. So we've got Josh Allen and a bunch of Browns.
Yeah.
You want to pick the Cleveland Browns as well while you're at it, Brad? This is your 4th round pick. You've got AJ Brown, which we're calling Arthur now. He doesn't deserve a nickname. Hollywood Brown, who's probably not been good enough to be Hollywood. Let's call him Marquise. Anyone else? This is your 4th pick. This is going to round your team out.
This is my team.
Where we win the draft, the 4th round. It's going to be brilliant.
Let's see. Is Kareem still there?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for the skyhook. I'm taking Kareem.
It's a great pick. Holy shit. He's easily the best 4th round pick out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do it. Well, all right.
An excellent pick. Your team now, Josh Allen, AJ Brown, Hollywood Brown, Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown scorer from yesterday's podcast, by the way. Manjot is up now with Saquon, Shaker Fries, Shakira, and the Philly defense. How are you going to round your team out, Manjot?
Oh man, there is a lot. I mean, there's a lot of different ways I can go. I've even shown you guys how to go with special teams and everything. I feel like this is a guy. Look, I have trusted him for a lot of the season. I can trust him again, and I have been pretty high on him. Let's go with Zach Ertz.
Let's say, is your ball sack hurt?
Yeah. Last week he just got a touchdown though and got double digits. As I said, I was pretty happy with him. So why not run it back, bring him back on the team?
I like it. He was the highest ranked guy on my list left.
Yeah, look at that. So Saquon, Shakir, Philadelphia's defense, and Zach Ertz. Hey, Nick, to round out your team, you've got Jaden Daniels, Xavier Worthy, and Jake Elliott. How do you wrap your team up now, given, God, what's left? Jesus Christ.
Just to confirm, the defense is this standard scoring, isn't it?
Yep.
Just standard sleeper scoring. Yep, absolutely. So it's more about like, okay, if you're conceding in the 20s, you're probably scoring nothing, but how many turnovers can you generate?
Yeah, okay. All right. I am... Jeez, there's not a lot left with skill position players.
I mean, you had 17-13 in the Chiefs and Bills game. Either of those defenses probably worth a mention, right?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I was looking that way. That's why I had asked originally about the defenses. So I'm going to go
13,
ahead and just
Chiefs?
take the Chiefs defense.
Sorry,
Chiefs, he said.
Or Chiefs. Yeah, fair enough. And I mean, I think if you're going to keep a team to 13, that you actually score something for the points. It sounds like you might think there may be a turnover. Okay, so your team, Jaden Daniels, Xavier Worthy, Jake Elliott, Chiefs defense. I'm just going straight back to a kicker. I'm going to take, again, there's 22 points I reckon the Bills can score. That's a bunch of field goals. Give me Tyler Bass. I've got two kickers. Botka, Bass, DeWanna Smith, Travis Kelce. No explanation needed. Hey, Tay, you've got Mahomes. Somehow you got James Cook and Austin Eckler. That's running back heavy. What do you do with your fourth round pick?
Probably would have gone Bass just because of the 2 points XP. I really don't like the defenses. There's a pit of arseholes lower. Sky was pretty bad. He's been a massive disappointment in fantasy this year, and he wasn't great last week. But I'm just taking the shot that the Bills in this game are going to need to air it out a little bit more than they did last week. So I'm going to take Dalton Kincaid.
Wow. I'm going to take some faith.
It does, but when you're comparing to what else I'm picking from, it doesn't feel like it's as much faith. It's more of I'm picking him over just an absolute sleuth of just dickheads. Like, so it's just like, you know what, I'm going to take a shot because I feel like the talent is there, even though it hasn't really worked out this year. Because I just don't like anyone else.
All right, Mahomes, Cook, Eckler, and walk him in, Dalton Kincaid. Hey, Isaac, you've got Jalen Hurts, Isaiah Pacheco, Giambi Brown. With 2 picks from the end here, who are you taking off Ian?
Probably not much. I'm tossing up whether to go one player from each team or double up on a player. I've got the Commanders scoring a lot of points, so let's go Zane Gonzalez.
Love it. All kickers taken unless there's an injury.
My only concern with him, and the XPs does help, I'll admit, but like, just seems they bypass field goals all the fucking time. Like, it's like, especially in a game like this, they just seem to always go for it on 4th down, and it just makes me. I can imagine myself watching the game being so pissed, wanting Gonzalez to kick a field goal, and they just go for it every fucking time.
And the Commanders and the Lions they've gone for the least field goals. Like, they've gone for it the most on 4th downs over the whole season.
But at the same time, I'm not having go at the pick because we're picking from absolute fucking garbage.
Can't wait to hear Ian's.
Ian's last pick. I can't wait for this because then I'm going to roll through a couple of the undrafted guys who Kev will get to pick from in his scraps team. But Ian, let me refresh you. You've got a couple of Commanders, McLaurin and Robinson. You've then got Dallas Goddard, who, oh God, you still got to love that Fendi put on in Wildcard Week. What do you got to wrap this draft up?
It's whoever. That's how I'm looking at it, Matty. Is who can I take off Kev? Who do I leave here for Kev's scraps team?
I don't think it's a bad strategy either because all you're looking at is where do I get the most points, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, my goodness.
It's all upside.
It's all upside.
Everything's upside.
Everything's upside when it's this far down the depth chart.
Oh my God.
It's like, who's not going to score me 0? That's like seriously all you're trying to do.
I think there's a few dudes who will do that, but
he got a lonely 29 yards and 3 receptions when they played them last time. So I'm going to go DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
It was. Blankets.
highest
I was
guy left
really-
on my list as
I
well.
was really tossing up between D-Hop or whether the Bills would actually use Keon Coleman this week. So that's the two things. Because the weirdest thing where the Bills have just stopped using Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman.
That'll be one thing I will take to my grave as my best call. Is I hated when Amari Cooper went to the Bills, and a lot of people loved it, and I thought it was so shit for fantasy, and it made no sense. Like I was actually cut because I love Amari Cooper. He literally needed to wait 1 week. Deshaun Watson fucking got injured a week after he got traded, and all of a sudden to Jameis. He would have been so good with Jameis. Instead, he's up on this Bills team that doesn't need to pass. It sucks.
Yeah. No, I agree. Totally agree. So it was, just the Keon Coleman thing, like they were using him so much for especially red zone bits and pieces.
Yeah. Now it could be fucking Curtis Samuel, who's not even one of those two. Like it's just what a mess.
It's so weird because like the last 2 games Keon Coleman's gotten 5 receiving yards. It
could be Dalton fucking Knox, like Dawson Knox. It could be any of them.
There's
anyway.
one man left that Ian should have taken.
Who?
Shoot.
Noah Gray. He's still there.
No, I didn't want only because Noah Gray is a regular season tight end for the Chiefs, and I am going to stand by that next season as well. If Kelsey is playing again next season, it'll be like I will be coming on that fantasy show, Matty, when you want to do the tight end stuff, and I'll be saying to everybody, take Noah Gray. Because, it's all regular season stuff. Forget about Travis Kelce until week 17 because he's just going to be nowhere until week 17.
He'll be one of the 5 tight ends Ian drafts in his fantasy team.
Correct.
This time last year...
I already have him in 2 dynasties.
This time last year, you took Juwan Jennings in the championship round as your 4th round pick. And you mentioned Noah Gray before you did it.
Did I?
And then in Super Bowl week, you took MVS, but also mentioned Noah Gray before you did it. So, like, don't think that Noah Gray is just this guy has been talking about Noah Gray since Christmas last year.
Well,
he's a believer.
We can't all love tight ends, but I've got a special spot.
The only person who loves Noah Gray more than Ian is probably Noah Gray's mum. I reckon that is the whole list.
Close second.
Let's Noah Gray
got a
jersey
special
coming.
spot for a tight end.
I'm not getting a Noah Gray. I'm not getting a Noah Gray jersey because I would have to walk around in a Chiefs jersey, and it's just not going to happen. No, I cannot do that. It's as much me. If anybody ever tried to get me an Eagles jersey, it wouldn't happen either.
This is a good question, actually. I've got a Chiefs jersey. It's Priest Holmes. He's a 20 seasons ago running back. If you had to have a Chiefs jersey, who would you be okay to wear? Man job.
I mean, I grew up watching Tony Gonzalez just fucking dominate the NFL. He'd be my guy 100%.
Nick?
I was gonna say Tony Gonzalez as well, actually, yeah.
Okay. Taylor.
Lovable.
Jamal Charles.
Yeah.
Isaac?
Harrison Butker, because he thinks women belong at home.
Oh, no.
You're amazing.
Oh, listen here, Elon. Jesus Christ.
I love it.
Send it to his wife.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
Bradley.
Isaac.
Wow. I used to have this guy's poster up on my wall. He was a bit of a legend in my time. The Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye.
Oh, let's go, Nigerian. I've talked to Maddie and some of the boys about my like special like there is like a special place in my heart for the Nigerian Nightmare. Getting a Nigerian Nightmare mention is just like that is like levels above, you know.
Yeah.
Manjo brought this up on the podcast the first time in 2022, by the way.
Yeah,
nice. There you go. And I they always say don't meet your heroes or whatever, but I had the opportunity to meet him, and he was the nicest guy in the world. Like so nice and just humble and everything. But you watch him run and back. Just watch his clips. Everybody look him up. Christian Okoye. Okoye, and the dude was just a beast. It's awesome.
Yeah, that Football Life episode on him was just fucking amazing. Like, if you have to watch something from him as well, watch that A Football Life episode. That's how I became a big fan of his as well.
There you
Awesome.
go. We all know Ian's Chiefs jersey is Noah Gray, so that one's locked in. But thank you all for playing that impromptu game of how okay are you in a Chiefs jersey, by the way.
No, I
We'll
would
ask
not.
that again in 3 weeks' time when the Chiefs have a three-peat.
How? No, it'd be Mitch Wisnowski.
That's the wrong team.
I know.
The Chiefs?
Because I'm not going to pick a Chiefs player. That's the
It's
problem.
Noah Gray. I'm sending you in a fucking Noah Gray jersey, mate. That's it.
I'll get a Noah Gray Duke jersey, okay? I couldn't wear a Chiefs. It's not because I hate the Chiefs. It's just because I can't be a bandwagoner. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm a Vikings fan. If I wanted to be a bandwagoner, I could easily pick somebody else.
100%. Jags fan over here knows that. Taylor, you know about that?
Yeah, no comment.
Okay,
The
I'm just going to run
two
through this really
49ers fans know that.
No, they don't. They don't.
Oh,
They
yeah.
Punched in the dick.
Big
Don't
fucking
worry.
time.
Nick's had a Buffalo Bills player behind him for weeks now, so don't even tell me he's a 49ers fan anymore.
Sure, Brad's had worse things right behind.
Oh.
Hey, we all remember that Brad was a Seahawks fan as a kid, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
Fight
That's what I
me.
was, we were talking about that during the week. That was the team that I was telling you, Nick, in our group chat. That was Brad's real team, and only me and Ian
Yeah,
know
it is.
about
It's
that.
his real
No.
team, yeah.
No.
Real team.
It's because
He's
we
born
found
up
out.
that way.
We found it. Manjot and I found out about it on a podcast that just disappeared into the ether. Like it.
Oh God.
It was the, no. It was
Long,
the it was the 3.5 hour like first draft extravaganza.
Yeah,
that we
the
did.
extravaganza that never made it to air.
Yeah.
Oh.
Understand about
Special
that one.
hidden episode.
Were you sad to see the Kingdome get blown up, Brad?
No, because from Portland always had a bitter rivalry with Seattle. So
Yeah.
we no. Anytime you see something blown up in Seattle, it's not a bad day.
Not bad. I enjoy watching implosions anyway, so because I'm a Jags fan.
Oh
There you go.
no.
There you go. Hey, quickly, Brad, your team. It's Josh Allen, AJ Brown. It's Hollywood Brown. It's Kareem Hunt Brown. Let's just throw Brown on the end. Everyone on your team's got Brown. Hey, Manjot, you've got Saquon, Shakira. You've got Philly defense. You've got Zach Ertz. Nice looking team. Nick has got Jaden Daniels, Xavier Worthy, Jake Elliott, and the Chiefs defense. Matty C's got Kelsey, Devonna Smith, because we're the same size, Harrison Butker, and Tyler Bass, because I'm all about the kickers, baby. Taylor, you've got Mahomes, James Cook, Austin Eckler, Dalton Kincaid. Isaac's got Jalen Hurts, Isaiah Pacheco, Giammi Brown, and the kicker for the Commanders here, Zane Gonzalez. Ian landed the Commanders. He got Terry McLaurin. He's got Brian Robinson. Then a sharp turn to Dallas Goedert, and then finishes it up with only DeAndre Hopkins. That is our 7-team, 4-round draft on only 2 NFL games. If you want to find out how we picked the NFL games, you're going to have to go back. It's 24 hours ago. It was on the NFL preview show that happened on Friday. This has been the fantasy show. You can find everything that we do with the Aussie Gridiron Network on our Linktree. It is Linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network. Manjot is our pastry press man. You also find him not just through there, but also everything he does on YouTube. So many shorts, so great. Follow him. If you are not following him, you're doing life wrong. It is YouTube/pastry press NFL. You'll find him there by punching those things in to any search engine that you've got. Hey, fellas, thank you so much. This has been the biggest draft show we've ever done. Somehow we've made it through 5 seasons without being cancelled, and a lot of it is with thanks to Taylor for only just doing enough to make sure we don't get cancelled, but then the contributions of you guys. Hey, Isaac, firstly, to you, thank you so much for joining us after a couple of weeks into the postseason. It is great to have you on board.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a blast.
Mate, those ram horns behind you have been just hypnotic for me. I love that. And of course, to Brad, thank you. It's always fantastic to have you on the fantasy show. Your volume, it goes up about 3 decibels when we move from NFL stuff to fantasy stuff, and the madness, all these great sayings that you bring to the show. It's terrific to have you on, mate.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Love talking football with you guys. Fantasy or real.
Nick, it is also great to have you because you say disparaging things about the Eagles, and we all love that. Thank you again.
Oh, yeah, anytime. I'm happy to say disparaging things about the Eagles.
Fuck yeah. Hey, Ian, I hope you're feeling better, mate. But the nudie juice thing going on behind you there, I like that you did that. How many litres did you drink tonight, and how much do you need to thank the folks from Nudie Juice?
I have had 1.5 litres of nudie juice tonight. The full pulp juice, thank you. Always do it with the bits in it. It's good. Yes. It's good for the fibre. No, it's good fibre, Brad, and it's the highest content. Yeah, 8 serves of fruit to this lovely bottle that I've got sitting here. Thank you to Nudie. Send juice my way anytime you want. I'll drink all of it anytime. And you know what? Yeah, if you're not first, you're last.
And Taylor, he knows what it's like to be first and last. What a great segue. I could not tee that up better. Thank you so much, Ian. Taylor Goodall, Australia's finest fantasy analyst, who has had to pick 5th in a 7-player 4-round draft. Mate, how did you find that?
Look, shout out to Noah Gray. Watching tight ends and fantasy my pubic hair grey. I just rhymed grey with grey. It's time to go to bed. Let's go.
Time to go to bed. Thank you so much, fellas. Let's do the quick whip around and say see you later. Isaac.
See ya.
Manshot.
Thank you, everyone.
Brad.
Mom, get out of my room. sorry.
Nick.
Oh, shit.
Thank you, and go the Bills.
Ian.
If you're not first, you're last.
Taylor.
Bobby. Kick his ass, Tyler Bass.
Everyone.
Aussie Gridiron.